At the beginning of the movie, we see Dimas and his wife Weena thinking of performing the 𝐂𝐿𝐿 ritual because it's their only way to see their daughter Rania. Adrian takes out a slip from a doll and asks Weena to read it out. They then start reading it to summon the 𝐂𝐿𝐿, and as soon as that doll starts moving on its own, both of them get terrified. Only then do they hear Rania crying and calling them, saying she can't see anything. When Dimas goes there to see her, an entity drags him into the darkness. Weena gets terrified seeing this, and then he comes out with his head twisted backward. As he falls, Weena runs to him, and the doll falls down. We then see Adrian, his wife Sandra, and their children Kinan and Niki. Niki is angry with them because she did not want to come with them. Adrian explains to her that next year she is going to start college, so it will be hard to go on a trip together. Niki says Sandra will not let her study out of town and she feels her life depends on her now. This makes Adrian angry, and he says she is her mom for 10 years and she loves her dearly. He then says that he will figure out a way to help her study where she wants, but he wants her to be more attentive and respect her mom. He then tells Sandra that he has talked to Niki and he hopes she would listen to him. Here Kinan comes deep inside the forest while taking photographs, and Niki warns him to stay off the edge as the water looks deep, but Kinan says he can swim. She then says she needs to go to the toilet and she wants him right here when she is back. Now Kinan begins filming himself when he sees a figure standing behind him, but it disappears as he looks back. Suddenly a man comes out of the water and tells him he better go back as it's getting dark. Now Kinan starts going back and is looking for Niki when he sees that figure again. He gets a little scared and leaves there, but after going some distance, he finds a doll. He starts leaving there with that doll, but then he falls and some force drags him away. Here Niki tries to call him, but when the call does not connect, she goes back to the forest to find him. But when she doesn't find him there, she asks her dad if he's seen Kinan. She says she went to pee, and when she got back, he was gone. They try to call him, but his number is switched off, so Adrian takes Niki back to the woods. Niki brings him to the lake where she last saw Kinan, but they can't find him anywhere. They then call the police, and Sandra starts blaming Niki for all this. Niki angrily walks out of the car and Adrian tries to calm Sandra down. He then goes to Niki and she says she didn't mean to leave him, to which he tells her it's not her fault. Then police in charge Majid comes to him, and Adrian tells him where Niki saw Kinan for the last time. Majid takes him aside and says sorry and shows deep condolence for his loss. Hearing this, Adrian gets angry and says that his son is not dead. He tells him it's been 7 hours and his son is nowhere to be found, and asks him to search the place where he was last seen. Majid tries to explain to him that they are following the procedure and that the best option for him now is to stay at his official residence. He then takes them to his residence, where he introduces them to his nephew Faisal. Later, he tells them that while they are here, the rest of the team is searching. It would be good for them to get some sleep so they can recharge themselves for tomorrow's search. Now at night, Sandra hears Kinan calling her, and then she finds him sitting in front of her. He twists his head towards her and then vanishes into the corner of the room, and Sandra gets terrified seeing this. The next day, they begin their search again, and they find a house in the middle of the forest. A lady opens the door and asks them if they are looking to see someone. Faisal asks her for some water, and Sandra needs a place to rest. She invites them in, and they tell her that they are searching for Kinan. Niki says it's about to rain, to which Faisal suggests they should go back first. Let her mom stay here, they will get the car and come pick her up. Niki tells her mom they are going back to get the car, and she asks that lady if there is any driveway around here, to which she tells them to go uphill. Now on the way, Niki gets a signal on her phone, and she tells Faisal that she can find Kinan's phone with this app. She then starts going towards the forest, telling him that he is not too far away. Now after a while, they reach the doll and she tells him that the sound is coming from here. Faisal says they should go as something is not right, and she keeps that doll in her bag to show it to the police. Only then she notices that the sound is coming from beneath, and she finds a crack there on the ground. Now thinking that Kinan's phone must have fallen in, she puts her hand in to find the phone, but someone grabs her hand and tries to pull her inside. Faisal manages to save her, and they get terrified seeing a horrifying entity there. They both flee, and when Niki comes out of the woods, her dad finds her. He asks her what's wrong and where is her mom, to which she tells him there is something in the forest. They then pick her mom up from that house, and on the way, Niki sees everyone there is taking their children to their homes. We then see Adrian at the police station, where Majid tells him that he has worked with a lot of missing kid cases, and most of them are kidnapping. But this case is different, and it's like his son just disappeared. They see two patterns here. First, kids go missing at sunset. Second, when a kid goes missing, the previous missing kid will be found, even though they were found dead. Meanwhile, Faisal notices marks on Niki's arm and tells her it was his first time seeing something like that thing. Only then he gets a video call from his friend Rama, who tells him that he saw the picture he sent him and it's 𝐂𝐿. He says if you ever find something like that, never play with it as it can summon things. And sometimes they refuse to go back to their realm. Faisal then tells Niki that when he first came here, the locals told him that the area around the lake is haunted and a lot of kids have gone missing there. He then shows her a video in which some kids have gone for a walk near that lake and they accidentally record that entity in their video. Niki asks him, isn't this the dock where Kinan went missing? To which he says yes. Now that night, Sandra hears some sounds from outside the house, but when she checks, she sees no one there. She then goes to Niki's room to check on her when she gets a call from Niki who tells her that she will be back soon. Sandra gets shocked to hear this, and when she removes the blanket, she gets terrified seeing no one there. She then sees Kinan screaming as she comes out of the room, but the door shuts, and when she comes in, she encounters an entity holding Kinan. Seeing this, she gets terrified and falls unconscious. Now when she wakes up, Adrian tells her that she fell in the bathroom. She tells him she saw Kinan in the bathroom, but he doesn't believe her and says she is too tired, which made her hallucinate. Later, Niki and Faisal check the files of the cases of missing children, in which they get a file of a girl named 𝐀𝐋𝐖𝐀𝐃𝐒, who was the first to go missing 20 years ago. They also find Rainia's file, who went missing in 2015. Niki then notices that all the corpses of these kids were found in the same condition. Meanwhile, Majid with his team visit the man named Sarno, who met Kinan by the dock. He tells him that he told him to go home, and he is confused about why every year people come to him and throw questions at him. Only then Adrian finds Kinan's jacket there, and he tells Majid about it. Adrian asks him what did he do to his kid, and Sarno tries to run away saying he did nothing, and when police try to stop him, he attacks and injures one of the officers, forcing Majid to shoot him in the leg. Majid then gets a call, and he tells Adrian that they found a body. Now at the mortuary, Majid tells him that the body inside is a girl, and they get relieved to know this. Niki goes to check the dead body, and finds that the girl is Rainia. Now when she starts leaving from there, she hears Kinan's voice from inside her bag, and when she tries to hear the voice from that doll, she notices that this voice is coming from that dead body. She finds Kinan under the sheet, and only then does that entity grabs her throat, but she manages to free herself with the help of that doll. Faisal comes there and she tells him that she saw Kinan inside. Here Sandra visits 𝐀𝐄𝐏 to give her some snacks because they are Kinan's favorites. Just in case he comes across this place and he is hungry, she will have something to give him. Now when she is leaving, her stomach starts hurting and 𝐀𝐄𝐏 asks her to come inside and take a rest. On the other hand, Faisal shows Niki the items that belong to the missing kids, and she notices that the batik patterns look the same. She also finds the broken face of the doll, and when she matches it with the doll she has, she finds it exactly matching. She then finds a paper on its head with a 𝐂𝐿𝐿 spell written on it. She reads the spell and says this must have something to do with Kinan's disappearance. Only then a police officer comes there with a robber and tells them this bike robber almost killed someone last night. He leaves there asking them to watch him for a second. Meanwhile, 𝐀𝐄𝐏 tells Sandra that she lives with her girl and her name is 𝐀𝐋𝐖𝐀𝐏. Sandra says she has to walk a long way to school, to which she says she doesn't go to school anymore because other students kept bullying her. Only then Sandra hears Kinan's voice coming from there. 𝐀𝐄𝐏 goes inside the room saying she thinks her child is calling her, and Sandra grabs a knife from there. Here the robber starts misbehaving with Niki, and Faisal gets angry hearing this. Suddenly the doll stands on the table, and they all get terrified seeing this. Then the lights of the room go off, and as the doll falls down, they hear that robbers scream and see that he is not there anymore. She then hears Kinan calling her from there, and as she goes toward that side, she gets pulled into another realm. On the other hand, Majid tries to investigate Sarno, and he tells him that he is not the one who took him, it was a ghost. They don't believe him and an officer starts beating him, but he says it's lurking at night, and it comes out after sunset to kidnap the kids. Here the robber bumps into Niki causing her to fall, and he asks her where are they. She says she doesn't know, but she heard her brother's voice. She then again hears his voice and sets out to find him. Then after a while, she finds a house there and the robber starts following her. Meanwhile, Sandra enters the room and gets shocked to see a tall effigy there, and when she asks 𝐀𝐄𝐏 where is Kinan, she says he is playing with her daughter. She then begins combing her hair and tells her that since birth, 𝐀𝐋𝐖𝐀𝐏 was way taller than other kids. She is only watching over her child, but she often gets sad. She wanted to make friends, but she got scared because they picked on her. That day, she left her a message saying she couldn't stand it anymore and jumped into the lake with a stone tied to herself, and here we learn that the first missing child was 𝐀𝐋𝐖𝐀𝐏 only. She fetched her out from the lake and keep her here, then a shaman tells her that 𝐀𝐋𝐖𝐀𝐏 is in a different realm now and he gave her a 𝐂𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, and she is happy she can be with her again. But after dark, she keeps asking for company, so every night, she gets her a friend. Sandra asks her where is her son, to which she says he can't come back anymore. Sandra takes out her phone and calls Niki, but Faisal picks up the call. She tells him the woman kidnapped Kinan and asks him to quickly come to the house in the middle of the forest. Here Niki notices that it's the same house, and then they find the dead bodies of all the missing children there. She then hears Kinan's voice and finally finds him, and then frees him. But before they could leave, 𝐀𝐋𝐿 attacks the robber and kills him by breaking his neck. Niki comes inside the house with Kinan and finds a 𝐂𝐿 there. She then starts reading the spell, and 𝐀𝐋𝐿 tries to break into the house, but only then do they get pulled back into their realm. Their mom sees them and gets extremely happy to see her son back, but he says he can't see anything. However, after he blinks, he gets his vision back. Suddenly 𝐀𝐿 grabs him again and tries to take him away, but Niki stabs her head with 𝐂𝐿, causing her to scream and drag away into the darkness. Now this enraged 𝐂𝐃 and she starts attacking them with a knife, and as she tries to kill Sandra's baby, 𝐕𝐈𝐃 hits her and knocks her down. Now they are about to leave from there when 𝐂𝐃 comes there and starts attacking Niki, and 𝐕𝐈𝐃 starts driving the car. Niki manages to gain control over her and sticks her head out the window, causing her head to smash into a barrier. She then throws her out of the car, and they leave there. The next day, Majid shows them the dead body of 𝐂𝐃 and asks Sandra, as per her statement, she saw the dead body of her daughter inside that house, to which she says she thinks she mummified the body. They then leave for their home, and we see Sarno in the woods watching them leave, and then he summons the 𝐂𝐿 again. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.